doing it, and as partly a tutorial for how to start an SL1 build. I really can't say that I'm all that good at it already, but I started an SL1 playthrough last night just for kicks, and here goes. Just a few things to talk about, I guess. Starting is you have a couple of options here as opposed to in other games where you have to start as a deprived. You have a couple of options. You can start as a pyromancer, or you can start as a deprived. I think starting as a pyro has a better trade-off, because for starters you start with a pyromancy flame. You start with 12 strength, 9 dex, so this automatically cuts you off from using long swords and other stuff. The first one that I started was a pyro. I'm thinking of doing a deprived right now, but I'm not all that sure if I want to, since the stats aren't very spread out. I think I may just do that, so just for kicks. And I start with a club, which is good. I like the club moveset. Too bad you can't add a beard. I want him to look silly. He kind of looks like Ryan Reynolds. It doesn't matter what we do there. And we begin. Deprived.
In the age of ancients, the world was...
So yeah, we start with nothing. Which is fine, because I play the first part mostly naked anyway. We're gonna be taking on this guy pretty early, that guy over there. I don't really need to trigger that bonfire. We're not taking on the Asylum Demon just yet, because, well, we're doing no damage with barely right now. So how do I typically start my playthroughs? Well, I do something which I guess a lot of people have a bit of issues with, which is I summon for the Moonlight Butterfly, rather. I summon for that because I don't want to needlessly complicate my playthroughs, so I decide towards, you know, just going for it and getting the 10,000 souls or so that they give. We'll be opening a shortcut because we're coming back later. Not immediately, but we are coming back. Taking on the Asylum Demon fairly early, as soon as we make it to the Undead Burg. The club is a great weapon. I love using it because it does strike damage, so skeletons die fairly easy. They're weak to strike damage. Fucker. What the fuck? That was bad. that with all versions of this guy, it's easiest to fight him unlocked. As opposed to playing locked. Mainly because of his size, I guess. I find that for bigger bosses, it's a bit easier to fight them unlocked than it is to fight them locked. We're just going to be running for a few essentials in Anor Londo. Oh, no, not in Anor Londo. In Lordran. We're running for a few stuff. Just to get a head start on the game, because, you know, when you're playing Gimped at SL1, you're pretty screwed. So we want to rest here to get the head start. Few humanities. We will be using them. There's some fire bombs somewhere here. I just can't for the life of me remember where the fuck they are. So we lost undead. We'll need some homeward bones. Lloyd's talismans for some of the mimics so we don't have to fight them. Now we are going to make our way down to... We're going to make our way to New Londo Ruins, and then we're going to bone our way out. And then we're going to go get a few essentials and make it to Darkroot Garden. Not exactly the most handsome motherfucker out there, but whatever. We want to get the 800 soul item here. Switching to the homeward bone. We're also going to pick up the transient curse from one of the jars here. Although we won't be using it just yet. What we're running for here is a Firekeeper soul, just because. That's the first Firekeeper soul. We are going to... We're basically cheesing everything in this place as much as we can. I guess the only sticking point now is going to be the Drake in the next area we're going to, which is New Londo. Obviously we are naked, so we're pretty screwed. Now why are we doing this? Well, for SL1 playthroughs, well, for the other one, I'm using the Pyromancy Flame, which is probably the same thing I'm going to be doing for this playthrough. However, If you start as a deprived, you don't have access to the pyromancies because you only get one slot. That's one of the trade-offs. I guess what I wanted to see is it more practical for me not to use that, or whatever. Basically, I'm just going to cheese through most of the stuff here. I will also be running to the red tearstone ring in just a bit. I'm going to have to trigger the bonfire inside that cave, though. Cheese everything up to the capper just so I can show how it works. We're gonna need the grass crested shield as well, just so I get some better stamina regen. Get the red tearstone ring already. Hopefully the drakes don't kill me though. Once we get a +5, we are going to take on the straight event really early. The extra souls come in handy for buying shit. Out of bones, but we can buy them after we've made it to Oswald. This guy's probably gonna kill me. Oh, fuck you. We are gonna take this guy out though. We're not doing much damage, but we're trying to get him to fall off. Hopefully he does. There we go. An attack that lets him knock him off. Ah, god damn it. Can't believe I didn't get him. There we go. If he drops a fucking halberd, I swear. Oh, on an SL1 run? Fuck you. I hate it when they do that, when he gives me the item I need when I don't fucking need it. The halberd is ridiculously OP though. And deprived isn't the best starting class to wield it, honestly. It's a pretty bad class to use. I will be getting the hunter set and the longbow here though. Just because. We can't use it, but I will be using it to aim. And you'll see what I mean later. Plus the extra clothing wouldn't hurt. I mean, yeah, we do need it. Okay, good. I got a couple of large shards as well. I'm gonna hold off on leveling until much later. I'll probably level just so that I can show how you can start smashing shit with a Black Knight Halberd really early. OP within maybe an hour, roughly about. not a terribly big fan of dealing with these guys. Hate dealing with those guys actually, because I don't have a decent weapon that does enough damage to them. And I need to be human in the next part, so I need to access the bonfire. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna quit out, just to reset the aggro. And you'll see why in just a bit. I can't believe I got a fucking halberd though, with no humanity, so my item find was at 100, that was it. I'm gonna need 1 humanity. Wow. So why did I de-equip my weapons? Because I don't really need it. Why did I turn human? It's because I'm going to be summoning Beatrice so I can do this mission. Because I'm going to want to get a head start on souls, since this is going to be primarily a melee build, a melee soul level 1 run. Now what you want to do is just stay here and not aggro that guy, because what you want Beatrice to do is zap him as soon as she gets summoned. There we go. Extra souls wouldn't hurt. And Beatrice is going to be doing all the work against this boss. I know it's cheap, and some might say it violates the spirit of a soul level 1 run. But I'm not doing this to challenge myself, it's more to show you guys how to get started. How to get an early start. You just want to keep locked on so that you can block and dodge as necessary. Look at that damage. Nuking the fuck out of this guy. Oh. This time around she's doing her fucking job. At least I can say I did something. So we basically got back a humanity that we consumed for turning human in this part. This is likely going to be the only part where we're going to have to summon anyway. Now, we're going to bone out. We can actually run for the wolf ring, which I think would be a good idea for the next areas we're going to be in. We're consuming a lot of homeward bones, but that's okay. So the wolf ring gives you an additional 40 poise. It's going to take a while to club this thing to death. As a pyro, you could just chuck fireballs at it, but we chose the more complex route. I guess because I wanted to use small stores and stuff, but starting as a deprived is probably okay. And also if I decide I want to level my character later on, I can. There's another tree here, living tree, but we can sort of skip him, I guess. It's not really blocking the way. So just like earlier, we're gonna have to run past one of those stone giants to get the poise ring, the wolf ring. I don't want to have to go all the way back because he's a bit of a dick, and he's hard to kill too. So there's that aspect. We're pretty much going to run past everything again and then just quit out to de-aggro. Quit outs are a bit of a cop-out, but it works, so I guess can't really complain. Let gravity do its job. I didn't get to equip the wolf ring. Forgot to. We'll do it inside because we're trying to run past one of the Titanite demons here. We don't really want to deal with that at this point. Because he's hard enough on regular runs at regularly leveled characters. He's even more difficult SL1. Going to purchase a few stuff. We're only going to buy 8, even if you need 9, because I will be able to. I will be able to get one from Very Neat Knight just in the next area. So now I'm starting to regret choosing Deprive because I only have 1 attunement slot, so I can't really spam a hell of a lot of spells. But I guess that ups the challenge a bit because I'm going to need to be very careful about, you know, how I deal with these things. There, now I have 40 poise. That way I can poise through at least 1 hit from these guys even if I'm not wearing anything or barely wearing anything. Wow, a whole lot of summon signs. We're going to deal with this little cum bucket here. Oh, we want to take him outside because I don't want to aggro the Balder Knights. Ooh. Against healing fighting this guy because he's a bit strong. Oh, fucker. No, stop. Good thing they chug pretty slow. Wow. That's a shield that I cannot use. Amazing. We're gonna get another Firekeeper soul here. So we now have 2. And on our way down we're gonna pick up the Undead Asylum key as well. Because like I said, we're gonna be doing the Asylum Demon, Stray Demon rather, pretty early, so we want that. I'm also going to be showing how to handle Havel pretty early on without having to rely on parry. Mainly because my parry game is a bit bad here. It's better in PvP than it is in this game, but sad to say. Pick up a few souls. We're gonna rest here again to refresh our 10 Estus shards. At SL1, all you really need is a flask +1, and no matter how much damage you take, if you heal, it heals it all the way up. But since I may get the Ring of Favor later on, I want to level twice. So as early as 20 minutes into the game, you can have a +2 and a whole lot of other items. I don't think I've really died yet. So now for a few things we are going to have to pick up. I'm pretty much going to try to avoid encounters with enemies unless absolutely necessary. Like that guy. I just don't want them getting in the way. But generally I kill stuff just because I don't want to have to deal with them. Two-handing this thing is great because it pretty much one-shots early mobs. And at SL1, the gang potential for stuff is real. Forgot about that guy. I prefer playing unlocked for most of the game because I don't want to have to deal with random crap. We are going to want to buy Resident City. Well, no, we can actually just kill him for that. We're going to pick up Reinforced Club. Maybe 2 of those, so that I can have other upgrade paths. I can't use this, unfortunately. I want some fire bombs too. $40 of those. I don't think I want to kill him, so I might as well just buy this. Okay. That's pretty much it. Here's another drawback, a trade-off to choosing Deprived versus Pyromancer. Since the Reinforced Club requires 12 strength, you have to two-hand it as a Deprived. So Deprived is generally a worse class to pick. But some might argue that the true challenge lies here. Take these guys on because I don't want to have to deal with the possibility of getting ganked like this. I'm getting a bunch of weapons I can use, other stuff. Not exactly the most fun way to play through the game, but at least I have some weapon variety. going back to Andre, by the way. So I'm gonna get my club up to +5. And then I'm gonna take on Havel. I'm just gonna trigger the Crystal Lizards here. The Crystal Lizard, rather, there's just one. Twinkling Titanite. Now, after we kill the Taurus demon, we're going straight into the depths. We're going to cheese a few of the guys that we need to cheese. Ooh, what is this little cove? Oh, this is where the fucking fire bombs were. Now I remember. Overall, I'm not too happy with the fact that I have to two-hand this, because I generally cheese the dogs. Head up and level up the weapon, our weapon of choice. Actually, thinking of just going for a longsword to this place was just for fun. But the fact that this builds up bleed is a very big deal for me because we're going to be taking on the stray demon. I do want to kill the channeler upstairs though because I need to get the basement key. And I don't want to have to run past the Baldur Knights just to do that. So yeah, after I do this, I'm going to kill the channeler upstairs. And then I can get on with my life. Kill the Taurus demon, cheese the Capra demon. We're doing pretty okay, I guess, so far. We now have a +5. We haven't popped any souls, so we actually have more souls than what you see on screen. I'm also going to show you how to deal with Havel without parrying, so we're going to be doing quite a few things. This is more of a tutorial than anything else. I am going to kill the channelers because I don't want to, or the channeler, because I don't want to have to deal with a bunch of mobs while I'm trying to get my key. I don't mind consuming all my Estus either at this point, rather than die. I could just firebomb these motherfuckers, but get the channeler alone. Oh god. Way. Well, at least it triggered the red Tearstone effect, I guess. Should be happy. But I also want a free law trick so I can get the Fap ring. We're sort of sloppy in this playthrough, to be honest. I could have just chucked a firebomb at those guys, but in fact, I think I will. Oh fuck! Can't believe I died to that. Oh, and there goes my humanity. Blew it. But anyway, we're still kind of doing okay. +5 weapon already. The important thing is that now I just have to go back for my souls. Because on an SL1 playthrough that's as carefully calculated as this, you do not want to waste a single set of souls or humanity or anything like that. And we don't want to blow that out of our ass, so yeah. Sometimes these guys drop stuff, just haven't had the best of luck with it. Hence why I'm not a big fan of having two-hand weapons, because I sometimes need a shield to break off intense ganking like that. I mean, the mobs here can be pretty fucking vicious, so I don't really like having to deal with them like that. At least I got my souls back. So we're gonna free Knight Lothric and kill him. Okay, so he's free now. We're gonna go back and get the key, the basement key that we're gonna need. We have a few more Balder Knights we gotta deal with downstairs. The Channeler here doesn't respawn, so that's a good thing. More souls. At this point, don't let the soul count fool you. You actually have more than what you have on screen because of all the consumables you pick up along the way. The Balder Knights aren't that hard as long as you deal with them one by one. Firebombs are your best friend. Those guys drop one of the most amazing longswords in the game, but they're not usable at soul level 1. They require 14 dexterity. So we got the basement key. I can actually run and take get the large ember right away, so we don't have to fight the Taurus demon. I just don't know if I remember how to do that. Might be worth a shot though. Let me just see if I remember the path. Ugh, fuck. You know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna do this over. I'm gonna fucking do this over.